Hey, what is up, guys? This is Bo, or Carl Hungus 712. Today I'm bringing you a throwback commentary. We're going to talk about the 5 things I'd love to see come back to Call of Duty, and these 5 things I think would make COD kind of return to its roots and become great again. That's what I'd kind of like to see. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We like to have fun on the channel, play Call of Duty, play Madden, Battlefield. Obviously with the new Battlefield coming out too. We'll be covering that a lot. Do some streams. Make sure you check my Twitch out as well if you guys want to watch me on there when I live stream. Same name as my YouTube. But obviously that's the only plug I'll use there, and then we'll get right into it. But basically, I kind of wanted to do a throwback to 5 things that I think if they return to Call of Duty, it would make Call of Duty feel like that classic shooter that a lot of us older COD players kind of miss, and something that I think has been lacking, and I'd love to see return. I'm kind of curious in the comment section to hear what you guys have to say. The first thing, though, is that classic feel. I don't think Call of Duty's really felt like a classic COD in quite some time. Obviously, on the next-gen consoles, I think World War II and Ghost were really the only 2 CODs that kind of had that classic feel of Call of Duty, regardless of, whether or not you started with Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, MW1, 2, 3, any of those old CODs, basically Ghost and before that, all those games kind of had a similar feel, similar speed, and, I really miss that. And obviously after Ghost, we went into the jetpack era. We had World War II sprinkled in there for 1 year, but then, we got back to Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare 2019, and Black Ops Cold War, which all had a sliding mechanic that tends to break cameras and different things like that. I mean, yeah, it's fun to utilize. It's fun to use against kind of shittier players because you can kind of camera them and kind of, get kills on them that you really probably shouldn't be getting. But I think that's also hurt the game in a lot of ways. I think it just makes the game, for me anyways, the old timer in me, like I said, I miss that old feel that old COD feel where you didn't have to slide cancel every 13 seconds going around the map to give yourself an advantage. And I think that's something that I'd like to see come back, and I think something that would be fun and make the game better. The next thing, balance in patches or a lack of patches. And one thing that I think we all can probably agree on, the last couple of CODs, every time we get a patch, it's like fucking 40 to 60 gigs, it seems like. I mean, it's just big patches that take a lot of time to download. Half the time it seems like you'll go through the process of downloading all these patches, and of course, if you're on the PlayStation, it takes an hour to copy over. If you're on the 5 like me, I was lucky to grab one. Don't have to worry about that. I think Xbox, they've been pretty good, and PC's been pretty good. But, large updates, half the time it seems like you download the update, something else breaks, and they have to do another big update a couple days later. And, when you think back to like Black Ops 2 and Ghost and some of those games, I mean, hell, even some of the jetpack games, we weren't getting updates that often. I guess I shouldn't say that because Black Ops 3, I think, is when it kind of started. I remember in Black Ops 3, it was like every week you had an update. But I think that's been kind of the problem. And I understand, what's nice about having updates. If there is broken stuff in the game, you can constantly change that. But of course, I don't have any programming background. And, there might be reasons behind this. But to me, it just always seemed like every time the developers would update, change something, they would end up messing something else up. And it was just kind of nice, thinking back to, when I started on Black Ops 2, how many updates did we really have on that game? I remember we had the nerf to the DSR, and maybe one other change, and that was like it on those games. And, I think it helped keep the game a little bit more simple. And a few other things. I mean, in hell, also, what was the biggest update we had on those old games? The season pass, the map packs, which is also on this list that we'll talk about later. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think balance and patches, or a lack of patches. Number 3, and probably the biggest thing you'll see trending on Twitter anymore, is the fun. The fun is missing in COD the last couple of years with skill-based matchmaking. Of course, I understand from a money perspective, from a business perspective, if you kind of protect lesser players, they're having more fun. You're getting newer people coming in to try the game. They come in, they play people of their equal skill. They beat the hell out of them, and they're having fun. Obviously, people like me or Junior or Quinn or whoever else you see playing with me, we're better players, and lobbies tend to get stale. When you reach a certain bracket, and like I said, I'm not bragging about how great and wonderful I am. I definitely don't think I am, but I'm a decent player, and when you get into some of the lobbies that I'm in, it's boring. The game is, as the man Blame Truth would say, it's boring. This game is these last couple of games have just been boring because there's no variety. Everybody uses the best class setups. Everybody plays the exact same way. Everybody does the same thing. Everybody uses the same streaks. Everybody does. There's just no variation, and that's what I think made some of the older games so fun. I remember going back and playing Black Ops 2 and Ghost and all those. Obviously you had guns that were better than the others, but you had other guns that could compete, and you had stupid fun guns that really you shouldn't be using, but because everybody wasn't sweating 24/7, it really helped. It helped the fun factor, differences, things like that. It really helped, and that's number 3 on my list of things that I think if we could change, I think we could maybe get back to that old timey fun feel. Number 4 on my list, simplicity. That's one thing I think also has been missing with the last couple of CODs, especially with Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare 2019, and Cold War. There's been such a big focus on doing all kinds of things. I think the biggest focus probably for COD now is Warzone. I think that's the big money maker. That's the cash cow. That's the focus. It's on Warzone. I understand a lot of people like Battle Royale. I'm not a big Battle Royale fan, obviously, but people love Battle Royales. They're very popular, and they still are. But when you think about Modern Warfare 2019 when it came out, there's tons and tons of content, but the content was spread too thin, and we lack simplicity. Now you've got the gunsmith, which I thought was pretty cool when it first came out. You've got 487 attachments for every gun and everything, but again, it makes the game so complex. And I kind of miss the simplicity. I was talking with a few buddies when we used to play, and it was kind of nice. Just you've got your stock attachment, you've got your quick draw, you've got your grip, you've got your red dot. You're kind of set to go. You had a few other, in pubs, maybe you throw a suppressor on, or maybe rapid fire just to kind of troll and screw with people. But now you've got 350 different grips that all do something different. And it just, like I said, it just makes the game complex. I kind of, like I said, I just kind of miss that simplicity in the game. And again, getting back kind of to the spreading yourself too thin, like I said with Warzone. But think about Modern Warfare 2019 here. The background gameplay. You've got Warzone, you've got the 2v2 modes, you've got the 10v10. I think you might have like a 20v20. I can't even remember anymore. You've got Ground War, and then you've got 6v6. And you have all those game modes, and you of course different games on different maps. So obviously you're not going to want to play Euphrates Bridge in 6v6 because that's going to be just a fucking nightmare camping wise. Nobody moving. Anaya Palace here in the background would be a miserable 6v6 map. Obviously that's why we're playing Ground War in the background. But it just the maps, the game modes. They tried doing too much, and I think, again, if you got back to traditional 6v6, Ground War I liked on here. I thought Ground War was a lot of fun. I think they did a good job. What was Ground War on here, guys, in the comments section? It was like 30v30 or something like that. There's like 60 people in the lobby or 40 people in the lobby all at once. And it was fun. It was lots of action for the most part. People are moving. And it made the game fun, but I really think it'd be better if we could get back to, having the game launch with 16 6v6 maps, that can also house 9v9, ground war. I think that's what we used to have. I think ground war was 9v9. And, just try to keep it, again, a little bit more simple. Quit trying to spread everybody so thin, and maybe just have one studio focus on Warzone. Let Infinity Ward focus on their multiplayer, let Treyarch focus on their multiplayer, let Sledgehammer focus on their multiplayer. And I think, like I said, I think if we kind of get away from that, spreading everybody too thin, I think that'd be much better. And number one on my list, this is one thing might be kind of controversial for most of you. This is something I've missed: the actual season pass that we'd buy every year when the game came out, and you'd get a map pack every quarter. So you'd get 4 map packs throughout the game's life. And this is the reason why I miss this. And I was laughing because I saw on Twitter the other day, people were talking about stuff that they miss or just different things in the game. But you know what? How was COD? How did COD used to be? The game would launch with 12 to 16 maps, and then you get 4 maps 4 times a year, every quarter. So you get another 16 maps along with the 12 to 16 or 12 to 18 that would come with the game. So let's just say 16 maps launched with the game, and 16 more got added in over the course of the year. You basically had a brand new game, and I think you pay like $40 for the season pass. So you'd have 32 maps over the course of the year that you could play, and then of course if you bought the map packs, you had them forever. So if you ever decided you want, what the hell, I want to go back and play this whole game, you still had the map packs. And that's one thing I missed, because again, it added more content to the game that I think's been so lacking over the last couple of years. Again, especially on the 6v6 front. Again, you think about Modern Warfare here. I mean, how many 6v6 maps launched with the game? Well, then they say, a lot of the leakers said, well, this was going to be, the amount of content, post-launch content, was going to be the craziest ever. And I think they ended up getting kind of caught up with Warzone being so popular. They weren't able to add as many maps in as they wanted to. But we really didn't get that many maps, 6v6 maps over the course of the year. Now, if we had the Battle Pass, or not the Battle Pass, sorry, the Season Pass that we used to purchase, you get another 16 maps on top of what we got. And I think we only had like 6 or 8 6v6 maps on Modern Warfare when it came out. So, I mean, another 16 to go on top of that would have been kind of nice. And I know later on in games' life cycles, they do it where it was 3 brand new maps, then you get a remake, 3 brand new maps and a remake. So you'd have 12 new maps and 4 remakes, which was fine. I'd have no problem with them, like remaking Terminal, and some of those are really good maps from the Modern Warfare series. But that was one of the things I missed the most. Like I said, is the season pass. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, it's kind of nice now that everything's free." But would you rather spend an extra? Would you rather spend $100 on the game and get 32 maps, or would you rather spend $60 and get 10 maps? I'd rather spend the the $100 and get quite a bit of content with the game, and content that if I wanted to, oh hell, I'm feeling like playing Black Ops 2. Let's go hop over on Black Ops 2. Oh yeah, I remember these old DLC maps. It's kind of fun. And like I said, those are 5 things I just kind of wanted to talk about that I was thinking about over the last couple of weeks here. And I'm kind of curious in the comment section what you guys think, or what are some things that you kind of miss from the older CODs, if you're from the older CODs. If you're from the newer CODs, let's say you started during the Jetpack era, or Black Ops 4 or World War II maybe, were there some things that you kind of miss from that? World War II was funny. I was on that the other day, and who remembers War Mode on there? It was kind of fun, where you had to kind of traverse across that map and like move the tank from one side to the other and do different things. It's you kind of go back and you look at that stuff. You kind of say, like, I kind of miss that. Or God, what was it? The headquarters area. A lot of people like the headquarters area and want to see it come back. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my ramblings. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to get this video out because it's I kind of like reminiscing about the good old days of COD and how Call of Duty's changed so much, and I do think there's been some good things that have happened over the the course of the years, but I don't think COD's as good as it used to be, and I kind of hope we return to that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, again, let me know in the comment section what you guys have to say. What are some things you might have missed, or just things you agree or disagree with me with. I'm always kind of curious to hear. So, but again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are having a great week, and we'll see you next video. Have a good one, guys. Bo out.